Have you ever thought about how clutter impacts your mood, productivity, and even your rest? If your living room seems too small for all your belongings, or if you're constantly wasting time searching for items in the midst of chaos, you're not alone. The truth is, most people face this problem daily. But what if I told you that by the end of this video, you'll discover 10 Japanese organization secrets that will completely transform your living room? Yes, practical, simple tips that anyone can apply at home. No complicated methods or expensive renovations. You'll learn how to create an organized, functional, and pleasant space that will make you feel renewed every time you walk in. These secrets come from a culture that's a worldwide reference in minimalism and efficiency, and now they're within your reach. Get ready to change how you see organization, freeing your environment from excess and filling it with harmony. And stay tuned, because one of the most powerful tips, the one that really makes a difference, is saved for the end. Don't miss it. Your living room, your space, can be a haven of peace and productivity. Let's discover together how to achieve this now. Radical detachment. Have you noticed how we accumulate objects in our living rooms that we don't actually use or truly like? This excess creates a feeling of chaos, tires our eyes, and makes any attempt at organization difficult. The mess isn't just physical. It weighs on your mind, drains your energy, and disrupts your concentration. The tip here is simple but powerful. Detach yourself from what no longer serves you. It sounds easy to say, but in practice, it requires decision-making and honesty with yourself. Start by setting aside time to look at each object in your living room. Ask yourself, do I use this? Do I like this? Does it bring me joy or utility? If the answer is no, it's time to let go. Donate, sell, or recycle. Don't keep things out of obligation or nostalgia. Imagine your living room with fewer items, free to breathe, with space for what truly matters. For example, that bookshelf full of books you haven't read in a long time, or decorations that just collect dust. Remove them and keep only what's essential, what has real value to you. By applying radical detachment, you create a lighter and more harmonious environment. The living room ceases to be a battleground against disorder and becomes a place of peace and comfort. Additionally, organization becomes much simpler because fewer things mean less mess. You'll feel a sense of freedom as if you've taken a weight off your shoulders. And the best part, this habit reflects in other areas of your life, encouraging more conscious choices and a more balanced lifestyle. Radical detachment is the first step to revolutionizing your living room and transforming your daily life. Don't underestimate the power of an environment free from excess. Start now. You deserve this change. Organization by categories. Often, the mess in the living room arises because we mix everything in the same space. Books, remotes, magazines, toys, documents. When we don't have a clear system, everything ends up scattered, difficult to find, and frustrating for day-to-day life. The tip here is simple and efficient. Organize by categories. This means separating your objects into defined groups and assigning a specific place for each of them. In practice, you can start by gathering all the remote controls in the living room, for example. Instead of leaving them scattered on the sofa, table, or floor, choose a small basket or an elegant tray to store them together. Do the same with books, separating those that are frequently read from those that are merely decorative. If you have toys in the living room, keep them in specific boxes or baskets, making it easier to tidy up quickly and access them when it's time to play. Another realistic example is organizing magazines and documents in simple folders or files, preventing them from accumulating in disorderly piles. When you apply this tip, your living room gains a clear and logical structure. You know exactly where everything is, which saves time and eliminates the stress of searching for lost objects. Additionally, the visual sensation of order brings calm and comfort, making the environment much more pleasant. Organizing by categories also helps maintain cleanliness, because when you take something out of place, you'll know exactly where to return it. This method creates a simple routine that anyone in the house can follow, promoting collaboration and preventing the accumulation of clutter. The result is a functional, beautiful living room that conveys the peace you deserve. Try this strategy and feel the immediate difference in your daily life. Organization can be practical and pleasurable. Want to change your living room? Start here. Functional minimalism. Often our living room becomes overloaded with furniture and objects that seem beautiful, but don't fulfill a real function in daily life. This excess not only occupies space, but also hinders circulation, makes cleaning difficult, and creates a visually tiring environment. The problem is that we end up accumulating items that aren't essential, which generates a constant feeling of disorder and discomfort. The tip here is to adopt functional minimalism. Keep only what truly has purpose and value for your routine. In practice, this means evaluating each piece of furniture and object in your living room by asking, is this item useful? Does it contribute to the comfort or organization of the environment? Does it bring me pleasure or convenience? For example, that huge coffee table that barely leaves room for people to move around could be replaced with a smaller piece, or even eliminated, opening up the space and making the living room more usable. Or those decorative pillows that are never used for sitting could be reduced to make the environment lighter. Another practical example is avoiding the accumulation of excessive decorative items. Choose a few objects that have meaning for you and harmonize the space, avoiding the cluttered effect. By applying functional minimalism, you transform your living room into a more open, light, and pleasant space. Circulation improves, cleaning becomes easier, and the environment begins to convey calm and balance. Moreover, this style encourages conscious choices, helping to avoid unnecessary purchases and the accumulation of objects that only get in the way. You'll notice that with fewer things, your attention turns to what really matters, and your living room becomes a true refuge of tranquility. This tip is an invitation to rethink what you keep in your space, focusing on quality and utility, not quantity. Adopt functional minimalism and take a decisive step toward revolutionizing your living room. The result? An environment that inspires peace, organization, and well-being. Intelligent zoning. One of the biggest challenges in organizing the living room is the lack of clear definition for each space within the environment. Often, everything gets mixed up. Reading area, rest space, TV viewing area, and even a corner for work or study. This mixture without boundaries causes confusion, makes maintaining order difficult, and compromises comfort. The tip here is to adopt intelligent zoning, which consists of dividing the living room into specific areas, each with its well-defined function. In practice, you can start by observing what you usually do in your living room. For example, if you enjoy reading, set aside a cozy corner with a comfortable armchair, appropriate lighting, and a small bookshelf with your favorite books. For the social area, arrange sofas and chairs in a way that favors conversation and interaction, with a coffee table to support objects. If you need a space to work or study, create a separate corner, even if small, with a functional desk and an ergonomic chair. Use rugs, shelves, or screens to delimit these spaces, creating a sense of order and purpose. A realistic example is a couple's living room that divides the space between a corner for reading and relaxation and another area for watching TV and receiving visitors. Each zone has its specific objects and furniture, facilitating daily organization and use. With intelligent zoning, you transform your living room into a multifunctional environment without losing organization and harmony. Each item has its place, which facilitates tidying, reduces visual stress, and increases comfort. Moreover, by delimiting spaces, you value each activity, making the use of the living room more enjoyable and efficient. This tip helps maintain order with less effort, as each person in the house knows where things should be and how to use the environment appropriately. Intelligent zoning is a simple but powerful secret that will revolutionize the way you live and enjoy your living room. Try dividing the space with purpose and see the difference in organization and quality of your daily life. Your living room deserves this care. Vertical storage. One of the biggest problems in small living rooms or those with many objects is the lack of space to store everything in an organized way. When we use only horizontal surfaces, such as tables and shelves, the environment quickly becomes overloaded and messy. The solution to this challenge is vertical storage, a technique that takes advantage of walls and the height of the environment to create more space without occupying the floor. In practice, this means installing shelves, niches, or hooks on the walls to store books, decorative objects, remote controls, plants, and even everyday items. For example, imagine a living room with a free wall where you can place floating shelves for books and some hanging baskets to organize remotes and small objects. This frees up space on tables and floors, making the environment lighter and more organized. Additionally, you can use panels with hooks to hang headphones, keys, or even cables, preventing them from being scattered. A realistic example is a compact living room where the owner installed vertical shelves near the sofa to store books, magazines, and personal items. With this, the coffee table was freed up for other functions, and circulation improved significantly. By applying vertical storage, you optimize the available space, increase organizational capacity, and keep everything at hand, facilitating daily use. This technique transforms empty walls into useful areas, bringing practicality and harmonious visuals to your living room. Moreover, vertical storage helps maintain cleanliness as fewer objects are scattered across supporting surfaces, reducing dust accumulation and making maintenance easier. With this tip, your living room will look larger, more organized, and much more functional. Taking advantage of the height of the environment is a Japanese secret that can revolutionize the way you live and use your living room. Try this idea and feel the difference in your daily life. Space is a matter of creativity. Use the walls to your advantage. Strategic lighting. The lack of adequate lighting is a problem that often goes unnoticed, but directly interferes with the feeling of organization and comfort in your living room. Poorly lit environments seem smaller, more cramped, and even disorganized, even when they are tidy. Poorly planned lighting also makes it difficult to find objects, creates shadows that cause a sense of disorder, and can even affect your mood and productivity. The tip here is to use strategic lighting to enhance each corner of your living room, highlight organized spaces, and create a welcoming atmosphere. In practice, start by evaluating the light sources you already have. If the main lighting is too strong and direct, opt for floor lamps, table lamps, or LED lights in specific points, such as shelves or reading corners. For example, you can place a lamp near the sofa to illuminate the rest area and use LED strips under shelves to highlight objects and facilitate visualization. Additionally, make the most of natural light by keeping windows unobstructed and using light curtains that allow light to enter, bringing life and a sense of spaciousness to the environment. A realistic example is a living room where the main lighting was complemented with a lamp next to the reading chair and indirect lights on the shelves. This not only improved the functionality of the space, but also highlighted the organization, making the living room more inviting and visually pleasing. By applying strategic lighting, you transform your living room into a more functional, comfortable, and beautiful environment. The right light helps to highlight organization, make cleaning easier, and make the use of space more enjoyable. Moreover, good lighting elevates your well-being, improves your mood, and helps create moments of relaxation or concentration, depending on the need. This tip is a simple but powerful secret to revolutionize the way you live in your living room. Invest in lighting that enhances your space and see how organization and comfort can go hand in hand. Your living room deserves to truly shine. Before we continue with the next tip, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. This is where you'll find amazing content to transform your home and your life. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you don't miss any news and stay up to date with the best organization tips. And tell me in the comments, which of these tips do you already use at home? Which city are you watching from? I really want to know your opinion and share experiences with you. Oh, and also tell me, which of these ideas has surprised you the most so far? Your participation is essential for us to grow together and create a community focused on making environments lighter and more functional. So take the opportunity to interact and share your questions or suggestions. Now, let's continue with the content. Hidden organization. One of the major challenges when tidying the living room is dealing with objects that are essential but end up cluttering the environment visually. Cables, remote controls, electronic devices, medicines, and even toys, when exposed, create a constant sense of mess, even if they are organized. The tip here is to invest in hidden organization, that is, storing these items in places that are not visible, keeping the environment clean and harmonious. In practice, this can be done using furniture with doors, drawers, or decorative boxes that match the living room decor. For example, you can use a cabinet with doors to store electronic devices and cables, preventing them from being scattered around the room. Remote controls can be accommodated in small boxes or organizers inside the coffee table. Children's toys can be stored in beautiful chests or baskets that, in addition to being functional, decorate the environment. A realistic example is a living room where all electronic equipment is stored in a cabinet with doors, while the controls are in a tray inside the drawer. This eliminates the cluttered look and makes cleaning the space easier. By applying hidden organization, you create a visually cleaner, more elegant, and welcoming living room. The environment conveys peace and order, even with the presence of many everyday objects. Additionally, this technique helps maintain motivation to organize, as the space becomes easier to keep tidy and pleasant. You also gain practicality, as everything has its place, but without needing to be exposed all the time. Hidden organization is a Japanese secret that values simplicity and balance, bringing functionality without giving up beauty. Try this tip in your living room and discover how the space can become lighter, more organized, and inviting. Your home deserves this care. Daily organization routine. One of the biggest obstacles to keeping the living room always tidy is the lack of consistent habit. Often, we spend hours organizing the environment, but without a daily routine, the mess quickly reappears. This generates frustration and discouragement, making organization seem like an impossible task. The tip here is to create a simple and quick daily organization routine that keeps your living room always in order with just a few minutes a day. In practice, this means setting aside 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the day to perform small actions. Put away objects that are out of place, arrange pillows, collect remote controls, return books and magazines to their places, and quickly clean the floor to remove any trash or dirt. For example, imagine that every night before going to bed, you perform this little ritual. Instead of leaving everything to be tidied up on the weekend, you keep the environment always clean and organized, avoiding the accumulation of mess. This routine can be even more effective if the whole family participates, each taking care of their space and collaborating to maintain order. By adopting a daily organization routine, you transform tidying into a light and natural habit without overwhelming your time and energy. The environment is always ready to be used, conveying calm and well-being. Additionally, the sense of control and care for the space increases your motivation to keep the house organized in other areas as well. This tip is a Japanese secret that values constant care, showing that small daily attitudes generate great long-term results. Try this method and feel the difference in your living room and in your life. Organization is not a task, it's a habit. Create yours right now. Visual organization. When we think about tidying the living room, we don't always give due attention to how objects are visually arranged. Often, even with items in place, the environment may seem disorganized and chaotic because of the lack of harmony in the arrangement. The problem is that a visually confusing space tires the eyes and mind, creating a sense of mess and discomfort. The tip here is to invest in visual organization, which means arranging objects in a balanced way, with colors, shapes, and sizes that communicate with each other, creating an environment that's pleasing to the eye. In practice, this involves aligning books on shelves in a uniform way, grouping decorative objects by color or style, and avoiding the exaggerated mixture of items that compete for attention. For example, on a living room shelf, you can organize books by size or color, interspersing them with matching decorative objects, such as vases or small pictures. Another example is keeping the coffee table clean with just one standout object, such as a flower arrangement or an elegant tray, avoiding the excess that creates visual pollution. Additionally, grouping similar objects in sets helps the eye rest and makes the environment more harmonious. By applying visual organization, your living room gains a much more pleasant aesthetic impact, conveying a sense of calm and order, even with few objects. This care makes maintaining organization easier because when everything is arranged in a logical and beautiful way, it's easier to notice when something is out of place. Moreover, a visually organized environment stimulates your creativity, reduces stress, and transforms your living room into a welcoming and inspiring space. This tip is a Japanese secret that values aesthetics combined with functionality, showing that organization is also about caring for the feeling that the environment conveys. Try this technique and see how small visual adjustments can revolutionize your space. Your living room deserves this touch of harmony and beauty. Minimalist maintenance. Often, the biggest challenge isn't in organizing the living room once, but in maintaining that organization day to day. The mess tends to return when we don't have a simple and efficient system that facilitates the continuous maintenance of the environment. The problem is that complex or very laborious methods discourage and end up being abandoned, causing the living room to quickly return to a state of confusion. The final tip, and perhaps the most powerful, is to adopt minimalist maintenance. This means creating an organization system so simple and functional that you can keep your living room tidy with minimal daily effort. In practice, this involves reducing the number of objects to the essential, using furniture and organizers that facilitate storage, and creating habits of constant care, such as immediately putting away what was used and avoiding accumulating unnecessary items. For example, imagine a living room where each object has a defined place, easy to access and store. After using a book, it goes back to the shelf. Remote controls always stay in the furniture tray, not just anywhere. Children's toys have an exclusive basket, which is used daily to collect scattered items. This simplicity makes maintenance natural, without the need for great efforts or tiring periodic reorganizations. The direct benefits are enormous. Your living room remains organized for much longer, the environment becomes more pleasant and functional, and you avoid the stress and frustration caused by constant mess. Additionally, minimalist maintenance promotes a more conscious lifestyle, helping you value the essential and avoid unnecessary accumulation. This tip is a Japanese secret that synthesizes the whole concept of organization. Less is more, and daily care makes all the difference. By adopting minimalist maintenance, you ensure that your living room is a space of peace, order, and inspiration every day. Try this method and feel the definitive transformation in your environment and in your life. Your living room deserves this revolution. Don't forget to check out my ebook that I made especially for you. The link is pinned in the comments, easy to find. In this ebook, you'll find a complete step-by-step guide to various cleaning strategies that can be applied today. The material is super practical, straight to the point, perfect for those who want to live more lightly and transform their home without complication. It's the type of guide that makes day-to-day life easier and helps keep everything truly organized. So, hurry over there to get yours, and then tell me what you thought. I want to know how these tips are making a difference in your routine. Take advantage of this opportunity to take one more step towards a more harmonious and peaceful environment. Don't waste time, because organization and lightness are for everyone. Let's go on this journey together. We've reached the end of the 10 Japanese secrets that will revolutionize your living room. We saw how radical detachment is the starting point to eliminate excess and make room for what really matters. We learned to organize by categories, facilitating access and maintaining order. We discovered the power of functional minimalism eliminating what has no utility and valuing the essential. Intelligent zoning showed how dividing the environment makes everything more practical and comfortable. Vertical storage taught us to take advantage of every inch of the living room, using walls to increase space. Strategic lighting emphasized the importance of light to enhance organization and well-being. With hidden organization, we learn to hide what visually pollutes, maintaining the harmony of the environment. The daily organization routine showed that small daily care makes all the difference. Visual organization, in turn, brought the importance of arranging with balance and beauty. And finally, minimalist maintenance taught us to create simple systems to keep everything tidy without effort. Now it's time to act. The transformation of your living room depends on your choices and commitment to daily care. Don't expect organization to happen on its own. Start with one tip, implement gradually, and notice how the environment and your life improve with each step. Organization is a gift you give yourself, a path to more lightness, comfort, and tranquility. And I challenge you, which of these tips will you apply today in your living room? Tell me in the comments what will be your first step to revolutionize your space. Let's transform your home and your life together.